Yes, welcome back everyone. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay. As you can probably tell, I've got a bit of a cold, so hence why this video is going out later than planned. But it didn't stop the excitement for the PlayStation showcase. My gosh! And yeah, I just want to get down to business and just get my thoughts out there. I've kind of got three of my top trailers from the and gameplay from the show. There was a battle for the third spot, so an honorable mention was Tomb Raider, which I thought was incredible. The graphics, the animation, kind of Uncharted vibes. And Tomb Raider hasn't had a great game in a long time, so this looks like they're going back to their roots, and I'm actually excited, which has been a long while like coming for a Tomb Raider game. So I'm really excited for that. But people, I know you want to hear what are the top three that I thought stole the show. And for me, in third place, it is Ill. Ill is a disturbing body horror game from what I'm seeing. It's incredibly ultra realistic. The creature design really, really intrigues me. And it's also like a Resident Evil mashup with like Dead Space kind of vibe. And I like these games, and especially for something like streaming, these games can be really exciting because it's unpredictable. And to be honest, these games can put you on the edge of your seat, especially when you got your headphones in and everything, and you're really kind of zoning in. So I think that'd be pretty cool. And I think that's why it takes third spot for me. It's when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, what's this? What's this? And by the end of it, I was like, okay, I need to play this. I'm actually really intrigued, really excited. I'll definitely want to check that out. So that got number three for me. Number two for me was very close, but it's Wolverine. Now the show opened with Wolverine, and I was like, fish hook, I'm in. I'm like, well, you've got me in the game, you've got me wanting the game. It's like shut up, take my money meme kind of thing going on. So I was really pumped when I saw Wolverine on screen. Now they showed gameplay, and it was incredible. It's very visceral, it's gory, much more melee focused, compared to the other game the studio created, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Morales. That those games were, a mix of melee, but mostly ranged, and you had your gadgets and stuff like that. Whereas Wolverine looks to be more melee focused, much more visceral, much more up close. And to be honest, I'm very surprised the amount of blood. I was like within 2 seconds, Wolverine's just covered in blood, and I was like, wow, they're not holding back. And I did notice something within the trailer, the gameplay. When he has blood on his boots, if you watch, it's very little glimpse. But if you watch when he goes to walk through like a puddle, you actually see the blood dripping off his boots and kind of like diluting in the water. It turns like a little misty red around his feet. That's incredible. That's some incredible attention to detail, that I can really appreciate when developers put that in the game. I think that's incredible. And on that note, the environmental damage created when you're fighting someone, like he throws them into a concrete pillar, parts of the pillar break off exactly where he hit it. He also kills one of the enemies by him into a forklift that's got the actual forks pointing at the enemy's back, and the enemy goes straight onto it, pokes out of his chest, and I was like, that's incredible. Like, this is on the go. This isn't scripted. So I think environmental damage, environmental kills, I think that's going to be something that's very ingrained in this game, which I think is incredible. And something that's very dynamic as well. And I think that's something that the game could really benefit from. So that brings me to number one, which I'm sure no one's will be shocked because I am a God of War fan. So God of War, Laufey is something that stole the show for me. Now I did hear rumors of a spin-off, and I was like, in my prediction video, I was like, okay, I think there'll be a something God of War shown here. I didn't know if it would be a spin-off or a sequel. There was a lot of times if you played God of War, God of War Ragnarok, that Kratos interacts with Faye. So he will be having a flashback, or he'll be knocked out or sleeping, and he'll be dreaming or interacting with her in some way. There was a part where he nearly died, and Atreus had to pull him out, and he was actually interacting with Faye, and it was actually a really sweet moment, I thought. So that could be entwined in this game. There might be parts where in Ragnarok and God of War, the parts we remember playing where Kratos interacted with her, we will be seeing it from the other side now, which I think will be incredibly interesting to see what Faye was doing, what Faye thought of those moments. Was she there? Was she a figment of his imagination? Was she a dream of his, or was she actually making a connection with him? I think that will be incredibly interesting to see. Um, on that note, and this is something I've thought about, and I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this. She interacts with Thor 100% in the game because Thor talks about it, and other characters talk about interacting her and Thor and other characters within the Norse realm. Sindri, obviously, Sindri is a massive fan. He really liked her. Now, I think Thor. Spoiler warning. If you ain't played Ragnarok. Alright, done. Spoiler warning's out. Dies. Thor dies. And this realm called the Everywhen that Faye is in is where magic is born, magic is returned, and where gods go after they perish. And I think that is a very interesting thing to look at because Thor died in Ragnarok. So where does Thor go? I know there is an afterlife of Norse mythology, but I think it would be really cool if Thor goes to this realm where gods apparently born and gods are apparently go back to, and he is there. So Faye could be doing her thing, interacting with this and that, on a quest here and there, and then she bumps into Thor and she's like, "What the heck is going on?" And he's like, "My father killed me. I'm here." And we would, we could see a discussion, we could see another fight. Imagine you're fighting Thor as Faye now instead of Kratos. I mean, it's crazy. It could be something I think that really links both games together. But like I said, I don't know if Thor's going to go to the afterlife, the realm that they have in the Norse mythology of Ragnarok, or if that everyone will be treated as where everyone goes. Is there Greek gods there? Kratos killed a whole sloth of Greek gods, so are they going to be there? It could be something like Memory Lane for us to see Faye interact with all these characters and all these gods. The gods we have seen in the trailer, I think, are incredible. Bets is the character that she meets, the Mongolian god of war. I mean, how incredible is that? Sekhmet comes into frame, who is the Egyptian god of war and healing. Now, she looks like she's probably first in command, he's second. Maybe they're joint, who knows? And two more characters that she bumps into is Rue, who is a ribbon attached to a sword, and the sword, flies about and everything. So that's pretty cool. A bit different to the Leviathan axe, but I think it'll be interesting to see what we can do with that. And I'm guessing there'll be other weapons, but this is like probably the primary main weapon. And then also the gelatinous cube called Frank. Now, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, the sword's going to come out, and then we won't see that blob ever again." Probably it was just a holding place for the sword. But no, the sword and the cube are, I don't know if they're friends or companions. And the cube talks, it fights, it joins in the battle, which I found kind of you know quirky. I thought it was pretty funny. And then to wrap that up, obviously new character, new combat, very aerial, very fast, much more different to Kratos. So that'll be interesting to see how that works. So there you have it, people. You have my reactions, followed by my analysis, followed by the ranking, which is Tomb Raider finishing very close to third, but sadly fourth. Ill third. Second goes to Wolverine, and first goes to God of War Laufey. So thank you for joining me, people. Thank you for the support on the first video. I know I've been out for nearly a year and a half. I really appreciate you sticking around and showing interest and viewing my content. Like I said, I will be doing more frequent content. This is the summer, this is the month of all the game trailers, and then that will be followed by all the games being released. So I really want to hear your thoughts on what games I should play, and I'd really like to ask you, what was your favourite trailer from the showcase? If you have a top 3, hey, I'd love to see it. If you have just the one, tell me why. It'd be really interesting to see. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, people, drop a like, show some love in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more, because there will be, like I said, a lot more content coming. And I really just enjoy sharing my thoughts and hearing what you think about gaming. So people, with that, I'm going to drink some water and head to bed, hopefully try to shake off this cold, so next time I'm not so nasally. But for now, people, that is all from me. I'll see you very soon. Have a good day, and